Welcome to the Create with Katrina Julia show by Fit Life Creation, where we talk all the things on wellness, faith, marketing, business, and travel to create a life and business you love. I've been there, friend. I've walked from fear to faith, self-hate to love, corporate to calling, and bondage to freedom, along with transformation in every area of my life. I'm right here with you, walking along on my own path to creating. So tune in so that you learn how to create a life and business you love, hands-on. Let's create it. Welcome to my monthly creator confessions, where I'm getting a little bit more personal. This is all about Abundant August. And if this is your first time tuning into the show, Creative Creations and the Creator Confessions are all about being behind the scenes of a creator and CEO. So from faith to wellness to wealth, marketing to business to travel to community, I share the real talk. So, how did you feel about August and then 2023 so far? So, the abundance in August accelerated far beyond what I imagined, but at the same time, there was definitely a lot of shifts and transformation. And I feel like I'm on the precipice of purpose, passion, people, and profits yet again. I experienced challenges in community and in finances. If you didn't know, I left the USA August 1st to be a digital nomad again. I set intentions to align with abundance in every way from the inside out. I decided I would not experience a great winter in Atlanta, and this aligned to creations and co creations with our creator. I left to travel to Playa del Carmen, where I spent more time with friends, made new friends, increased workouts over 7 days in August, reaching nearly 15K or even exceeding 15K in August. Let me take a look just because now I'm curious and I didn't look right when I was typing this. And I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm closer to 20K than I think. So I'm pulling out my Peloton app. Yes, you guys. So I'm way exceeded my expectations. I'm about 17K now. So I was close to 15K in July. And then now I am at 16,955 as of this recording, 16,955. But keep in mind, it is September 5th as well. So definitely acceleration. I experienced turbulence with transformations and absolutely new levels of growth, and change stays over 4 times in Playa. I did not expect to do this, and this definitely shifted things. I expected to stay in one place, but AKA my soul and life had other plans. And I love where I'm at right now. It's in a private residential neighborhood called Nick Price Residences in Playa del Carmen, with security, with a gym next door, with peace and tranquility and a bike. And the hosts, Sandy and Louise, and the entire team, and Dora and Hallie are amazing. Living wise, speaking of, I'm using Airbnbs, partnering with real estate, and later likely Hello Landing or other platforms that I recently discovered that surprised me with co-living and co-working like TripleLink. That, once we set the intentions, it's amazing what starts to happen and be co-created with different things, be it retreats, be it co-living, etc. And I've decided increasingly on internal summers and sunshine to match my soul. Speaking of, my divine discipline, along with all this sunshine and shifts, has increased astronomically in every way. If you didn't know, my phrase for this year is I am divinely disciplined. And there's definitely been so much unearthing with worthiness, worthlessness. And I talked about it a lot on my blog and on my show about the 2023 vision and a year ahead. So now this month, I've radically increased waking up consistently 5 to 7 a.m. more than ever. I'm focusing on CMO, management, and content for you on the B2B side. On the community side, I created my first 30-day challenge to create a life and business you love with YouTube, the show, email, blogs, and socials. And what's interesting is, isn't it funny how so many times we think we are co creating for someone else? And in fact, we are co creating for ourselves. And I absolutely found that to be true in this particular month and then this particular challenge and so much more. It's been quite a shift in so many different things that have surprised me in countless ways. And that is definitely one of them, that the 30-day challenge, that so much more has impacted me. Speaking of, and the discipline and the growth and different things, I also created a course, 7 ways to make 7K in 7 days. And as I am increasing the alignment and the abundance, it's interesting because as I've been putting the videos together for the course, as I've been putting together the workbook, what my soul and abundance has been prompting me to do is take aligned action as I'm going through the workbook. So, for example, I listed more fit and content cations on Retreat Guru and book retreats, or I'm listing a portion of the workbook on Etsy. Those are just some of the examples. Like as I'm going through the creating the course and co-creating the course and launching it, I listed it on Eventbrite and a masterclass. I listed on the book retreats and Retreat Guru, as I mentioned, the 7+K components that I started putting those together at accelerated levels. I reached over $3 million in aligned proposals in August as well. I'm editing one piece of the email that I noticed, instead of putting waking up consistently, I put I'm walking up consistently. So I went back to edit it and got distracted. Hashtag excuse my human. So I continued, speaking of business to business proposals and opportunities, to about $3 million in the pipeline, you guys, in August alone. That was not including any investment accelerators or anything else like I had in July. So my divine discipline is definitely accelerated abundantly in August. I think we would all agree. Anyone else? Spiritually, I increased daily prayer, Bible reading, and listening to prayers in my own voice. I'm participating in Sarah Jakes Roberts' daily fast. I'm listening even more to aligned teachings with her, Priscilla Shire, and even more as well. And physically, I talked about how I reached near 15,000, but really almost closing in on 20K. And my workouts increased over 40%. On top of that, I increased walking radically, swimming in the ocean, and more. I literally have gone for sunrise to the beach over 10 to 15 times in August. I lost count. I increased lifting with gyms in my last 2 Airbnbs. And daily aligned action with eating healthy as I travel, Herbalife nutrition that gets delivered here in Playa del Carmen. If you didn't know, we're in 95 plus countries. And then financially, increasing aligned abundant action in August, increasing prayers, EFT, and a focus on believing I am worthy to receive in spite of challenging circumstances, increasing the impact and influence with business to business, with the proposals and some of the launches that I mentioned. Also, I increased and scaled speaker outreach 10x with different insights with e-speakers, with Benji. You can find him if you Google Benji and speaking on YouTube. My blogs increased radically in August. I published, I believe, 8 blogs. And when I looked at the traffic, Not sure if it's solely through the emails or from the blogs or both, but my website traffic increased over 100% in August. My emails did increase to over 7 weekly, and I was a bit concerned that my open rates were going to radically drop and people were going to get really, really annoyed because in the past, the most I typically done was 2 to 3, unless I had an active launch. And you guys, I sent 30 to 40 emails easily in August, and my open rate stayed at 30% plus. So it goes to show, if you have an aligned audience and people are loving the value that you send out, the open rates and the conversions will stay there. And of course, the people that choose to drop off will choose to drop off, and like I always like to say, I'm not for everyone and everyone is not for me. Speaking of shows that we're listening in now, my shows increased in August to 30 plus with the challenge because some days I was dropping like 2 shows, but usually one. My YouTube is almost monetized now. I have over 1,000 subscribers, but I don't have the watch time yet. Although it increased over 100 hours last month, I'm super grateful. But if you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and not listening to my podcast is actually on YouTube and or watching the videos with all the behind the scenes, please, please, please help me monetize. Speaking of social media increased over 2 times with over 50 Instagram reels on Instagram alone. This does not include scheduled and repurposed posts in Dottie and Social Curator, aka my AI social media manager. And like Bugs Bunny says, bloop, 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 that's not all, folks. It's all about being a human being too. Okay. So, speaking of launches and speaking of different things, definitely if you're not subscribed to my email list, definitely subscribe and definitely check out my blog post where I talk about the 7 ways to make 7K in 7 days and break down and essentially give you a sneak preview to the course and the workbook. Mentally to playfully, I increased as I shared, feeding my soul with prayer, journaling, EFT, nature and adventures. I made new friends in Playa via wellness and co-working communities. I talked about it on the show and on my YouTube channel with yoga communities, with ice bath communities, with Reconnect and Mr. Sunrise Yoga, Saul, and Nest co-working. I spent time co-working on rooftop pools more times than I may count. I went to the beach 20 plus times, including over 10 times for sunrise. I hosted beach boot camps and co-working. I did must-do bucket list adventures with swimming with turtles, saw over 8 turtles in less than 2 hours. Definitely go watch my video on my YouTube channel. And I free dove in caves and swam through caves and to air pockets, which I had never done before. So just call me Lara Croft or the female version of Indiana Jones. Okay. I immersed myself in learning with communities, including Epic Fab Girl, EFT with Cassandra Bodzak, and at Pitbull Marguerite on YouTube, Social Curator, and B School. I finished B School round 4 in August, and that's my 4th time within the last year that I've gone through B School and treated it every single time as if it's the first time, the gift that keeps giving. I was featured for a win, and I got to go on live with Marie Forleo and the mentors, Kelsey and others for the first time. I would definitely be sharing a blog post before this year is over for sure on my honest review with B School on the blog. I'll also do a recap video and much more. My faith, focus, and feeling all around was abundantly accelerated in August. If you haven't yet, definitely check out Countless Ways to Be Encouraged, Transform, and Take Action with my 75 plus tools to create it like a boss in the link in the show notes. If you're ready to create and scale your marketing like a boss, my show reached over 25,000 downloads and top 100 in 2022. Please leave a review on the show. It helps more people know about it. And drop your Instagram handle, drop your website so I can shout you out. Also, you will love my fractional CMO outline. And if you go to bit.ly backslash fractional CMO like a boss, in case it's not in the link in bio. You can take a free marketing quiz. And also on the blog, you can check out posts like 10x social media. And don't sleep on my YouTube channel. So, all the ways you can create it, monthly challenges and memberships. Definitely check out the link in bio. Influencer marketing and management, bit.ly/influencer marketing like a boss. Marketing from A to Z, the bit.ly I mentioned with the fractional CMO, bit.ly/fractional CMO like a boss. Global-cations, retreats, and co-living, fitlifecreation.com/retreats, or if you go in the link in the show notes, you can scroll down to the community to create it. Speaking of, let's create it like a boss. And remember, friends, create, transform, and inspire, because you are born to. Welcome to 7 Ways to Make 7K in 7 Days. And this is part 1. And in part 1, I am digging into freelancing, consulting, and events that are 7K or more per each instance. So first, let's talk about how to put together offers and the things you want to consider. So first, you want to think about the value that you bring. Is it in consulting in some area? Is it in social media? Is it in influencer marketing or management? Is it in finance? Something that you can put together and offer for $7,000 or more. Speaking of, along those lines, you can also, depending on your credibility and your experience and of course your confidence, put together speaking opportunities for $7,000 or more. And last but not least, also putting together retreats and events, whether it's an exclusive retreat for a week or more or a month or more, and putting on that price tag of $7,000 or more. So let's dig into some examples with freelancing and consulting. So with consulting, for example, some of my offers that are $7,000 or more include Chief Marketing Officer services and or CFO services on a monthly ongoing basis. So in the notes and in the examples and in the workbook, I'm showing you some links to where they give you an example of landing pages and offers that put together presentation, titles, SEO friendly titles that you can integrate content and launches from across your blog, across your show, across your social media. And also in the workbook, the framework of putting together your own offer for consulting, like what that would look like, what value you're providing that is exponentially more than what you are asking. Okay. And then as some added tips, you can find different consulting opportunities on websites like Indeed, like Brain Trust, and like Paro, Paro.io. Now let's talk about some speaking opportunities and where you can find speaking opportunities and how you can set up your speaker page. So espeakers.com is a fundamental and amazing, phenomenal platform that you can put together your speaker page, and they have a great template, and they list you on so many different sites. Okay. And then I'm also going to link their information as well as my own bio page. Okay. Then on top of that, now let's talk about retreats and events. So some of the retreats and the events and things that I list at 7,000 or more include week-long retreats, month-long retreats, and then I've also included some examples there of fitlifecreation.com/retreats. So the same way that you bundle
your value and your gifts, talents, and abilities in a monthly offer, in a speaking opportunity, the same way you would repurpose it for a retreat. And then to add in even more value, you can add in different online pre and post experiences. So comment down below on which $7,000 or more offer you are going to be putting together first. So let's create it.
All the chats on faith, wellness, money, marketing, business, and travel, so you create a life and business already. Head on over to the blog, the podcast, and the freebies to jumpstart your transformation. If you're ready to dive into the online courses, the live events, or the retreat, and if you want to create with our community on an even deeper level, definitely check out our internships, our influencer collaborations, management, and brand engagement. Let's create it.